Um, I accidentally started this stream before it was ready. My bad. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? This is Anthony with VR 365. That was a mistake. Yeah. So right now it's saying that my stream status is bad, and I was just trying to preview the stream, but I accidentally started the stream. So anyways, here we are, guys. We are live. It is Monday. It is February 18th, and it is 11 a.m. Hopefully the stream will improve here in just a minute. What is going on, folks? Oh, man, I am way discombobulated by doing this. I was not ready for this. Okay, so anyways, here we are. It is a show. It is a live show, yes. So today is Monday. It is February 18th. It is about 11 a.m., and this, of course, is episode 102. All right, so what is going on today? Well, I gotta tell you, the #1 story of the day, up until just about a couple of minutes ago, was Nintendo. Nintendo possibly getting involved in VR. And we're gonna get into that in just a minute here. But before we do that, there is a new #1 story of the day, and I gotta switch over to this. So hold on, guys. Let's see. Let me get my webby browser set up. So yeah, let's go ahead and switch over here. Now this is PlayStation VR subreddit, and I was just doing some prep for today's show, trying to look for stories and stuff to talk about, and I saw this little thread right here, and it says, where is the best place to find a list that is constantly updated of upcoming PSVR games with release dates? Okay, and so I saw this thread, right? And I saw that there were 9 comments in this thread. And I clicked on it, and to my horror, to my absolute horror, nobody, not a single person, mentioned VR game rankings. Oh my God, this is a critical failure of massive proportions. I mean, I've got a major marketing problem with VR game rankings, because for 9 people to leave a comment and not a single one of them mentioned VR game rankings, that is redonkulous. That is just absolutely god-awful. That is absolutely horrible. It is completely unforgivable. I mean, I'm looking at some of the responses in here, and this guy, like this one guy says, Without Parole's YouTube channel does a PSVR This Week segment, and then this guy, Grandma Shifty Eyes, says, thanks, but I'm really just looking for a simple list of what is coming in the future, not videos on games released in the current week. And then this guy's like, oh, go to vrgamecritic.com/games. Yeah, you're really going to get a good information there. This is just so depressing to me. Absolutely so depressing to me. This guy says, I generally use uploadvr.com for the release information. They do regular posts for each month. Yeah, but that's not what these people are talking about. Now, I did come in and I did respond, and I said, look, you know, I threw the top 40 most wanted PSVR games link up in there, and I said this website was created for this very purpose. That's the whole point of VR game rankings. Like, VR game rankings has 2 primary missions. #1, let's celebrate all the great VR games that we have right now. That's #1. Let's celebrate the best VR games we have. #2 is let's hype up the VR games that are coming soon. That's it. That's our mission. Celebrate what we have now and hype up what is coming soon. That is vrgamerankings.com. That is our mission. That is our purpose. We want to cover the best that's available, so we give people these lists that they can jump into. So somebody just buys a PlayStation VR last week and they don't know what's good, they don't know what to buy, go to the PSVR Top 100. The games that are in the top 30 of that list are certified. These are games that have been proven to be great games. Now, not all of them are going to be perfect for you, but you find the game in your genre that's ranked really high. That's what it's for. And then if you want to find out what games are coming soon, You go to the most wanted charts. It's as simple as that. Now, could I do an even better job on the most wanted charts, like updating it even more often? Can I do a better job of updating our top 100 lists, and can I do a better job with some other stuff? Sure. We're not perfect. It's basically me. VR Game Rankings is me, okay? We don't have a staff. The staff is me. I am the only person, and so I'm working on VR 365. I'm doing these episodes every single day. I'm doing Let's Plays. And I'm working on VR Game Rankings. And a lot of times the work that I'm doing on VR Game Rankings is stuff that it's background stuff. It's like doing the game profile pages so that when I have them on a rankings list, somebody can click on the picture and it takes them to the game profile page, and doing stuff like that. But I typically am working on VR Game Rankings every single day, even if it's just for a small amount of time. But that's the entire purpose of VR Game Rankings. Now, the good news is, if this exact thread was posted in the Oculus subreddit or the Vive subreddit, somebody, like, if there were 9 comments, somebody would have popped in and said VR Game Rankings. Maybe it would have been Main Fan, you know, maybe it would have been somebody else that watches this show on a regular basis, but somebody would have popped in. But 9 comments and no one mentioned VR Game Rankings. This literally makes me want to cry. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. This literally makes me want to cry. Like, can I pause the show right now and cry? Man, I can't even say it, guys. I mean, I can't even comment on this. This really makes me want to cry. But let's move on and let's just get into, let's just go ahead and get into regular stories. But man, this makes me almost just want to say, F it, I quit. It's over. VR Game Rankings is over. VR 365 is over. Let's pack our bags. Let's go. Let's give it up. But no, let's press on. Let's press on. Okay, so now let's actually get to the lead story of the day. All right, let's actually get to the lead story of the day. Now, what is the lead story of the day? So hold on a second here. Let me go ahead and grab a different trailer. And yeah, I don't know, man. I should not have seen that. That disappoints me too. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be disappointed. Honestly, I wouldn't have been disappointed if there were like 3 comments or even 4 comments or even 5 comments and nobody mentioned VR Game Rankings. I wouldn't have been that disappointed because it's like, oh, there's only a couple comments. But 9 comments? Oh my goodness. But anyway, let's move on. Okay, so the lead story of the day is Nintendo. And so a lot of people, this is the Labo trailer. And because my background thumbnail image is Nintendo Labo, and then I'm running this trailer as well, Nintendo pretty much owns VR 365 at this point in time. They own my YouTube channel because I am showing this trailer and I used a thumbnail that has one of their images in it. They pretty much own VR 365 and VR Game Rankings. They're going to be disappointed in my marketing now that they are the new owners. But anyway, yeah, this is a Nintendo Labo trailer. And the reason this is on the screen right now, guys, is because of NintendoLife.com. So there are a number of various Nintendo enthusiast websites that are reporting that Nintendo is pondering virtual reality. They are considering virtual reality, and it may be coming to a theater near you in the near future. So what is going on here? Okay, so first of all, I gotta say that right now, this is nothing more than an unsubstantiated rumor. Like this is 100% rumor. This is not confirmed by anybody as far as I can tell. However, this is based on an article at Nintendo World Report by Emily Rogers. And those of you that know a lot about Nintendo and you follow a lot of Nintendo rumors and a lot of Nintendo news, you've heard the name Emily Rogers. She has sources. She has legit sources at Nintendo. Now, I don't know if she's like pissed them off over the years, and some of those sources are like we're not dealing with you anymore because you keep leaking every little tidbit of information we give you. But Emily Rogers is a known commodity right here, and apparently she has multiple sources that are telling her that a small select group of first-party software titles for the Nintendo Switch could receive VR support in the not too distant future. Also, Go Nintendo, another website, says that a very trusted source that they have says that VR support for the Nintendo Switch is a real thing, and that Nintendo Labo, which is the trailer that we're seeing right here, that this would be the first thing that is going to support VR. Okay, now what about Nintendo? Like, what has Nintendo said over the years about VR? And the bottom line is Nintendo has pretty much poo-pooed the idea of VR every step of the way, whether it's Reggie Fils-Aimé, whether it's Miyamoto, anybody, they've all poo-pooed VR to one degree or another. And some of their quotes have been pretty harsh over the years in terms of what they've said about VR. But you know, they've never been super hyped into VR. The one positive thing that we could take away from this is they have said that we're looking at it. We're exploring it. We're always experimenting. We're experimenting with VR. We're thinking about VR. Now, a lot of you guys in chat are saying, wait a minute, the screen is too low of a resolution. It simply is not going to happen. It cannot happen. But apparently there is a revised version of the Nintendo Switch that is going to have a higher resolution screen. Now, I don't know if this has been confirmed either, but supposedly there is this higher resolution Switch that's coming out at some point in time with a higher resolution screen, and maybe that will be required to experience VR. But yeah, I mean, if you start to dial into the real deal here, it seems quite unlikely that this is actually going to happen. Nintendo Switch VR. Now, so personally, what's my take? Do I really believe that anything is going to come out of this? Probably not. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. I just can't see Nintendo half-assing this. However, at the same time, where there's smoke, there is usually fire. And Emily Rogers is a known commodity, and her sources are pretty damn good. So what I have to say with this is I have to say that something is going on here related to VR and Nintendo. What it is exactly, who the hell knows? Will it actually ever come to the Switch? A new and improved Switch? A slightly upgraded Switch? Maybe. But anyway, that is the talk of the day. Nintendo possibly getting into VR. Because if Nintendo really did jump into VR, this would be a major shot in the arm. It basically, rising tides lifts all boats. And I really believe Nintendo, if they were to get into VR, even in the smallest fashion, it would be a major news story throughout the entire VR industry, and it would give the entire VR industry a lift. Part of the reason that VR is kind of in this trough of disillusionment is you do have companies like Xbox, and you have Nintendo that they haven't embraced VR, and neither of them appear to have any plans for VR. Like, there's never been anything solid for Xbox or Nintendo. And I speak specifically to Xbox and not to Microsoft. Microsoft is interested in VR in certain ways, but I'm talking about Xbox specifically here. There seems to be little to no interest. And that's a Debbie Downer. We got to get everybody involved if this is really going to pop off. But anyway, let me switch over here. I wanted to see, I don't know if like Upload VR or Road to VR, are they covering this Nintendo story? Yeah, I'm over here at Upload VR. Okay, so let me switch over to our Webby browser. I'm just going to see if there's any additional information here that I didn't spot initially. But yeah, report, Nintendo to launch Switch VR headset this year. Nintendo World Report cites multiple sources and saying Nintendo will announce the kit as early as this year. A small number of first-party games will get VR support, and Labo will be the first one, apparently. Let's see. Take all of this with a pinch of salt. Yeah. In late 2016, Nintendo did file a patent for a headset. Users plug the Switch console into the device, much like they would a smartphone. And data miners found a VR mode that was hidden in the console. There's also the fact that the Switch's 720p screen and lack of 6 degrees of freedom tracking don't make it an ideal fit for VR. But somebody, I don't know which website I was on a number of these different Nintendo-based websites, but somebody was saying is that there could be kind of like a refresh for the Nintendo Switch, maybe Nintendo Switch Plus or Nintendo Switch Ultra or whatever it might be, where the screen is going to get a bump. There's going to be a bump in resolution to the screen. Maybe there will be some added technology to it that will kind of add this VR capability. It doesn't sound right. It just doesn't make sense to me, in all honesty. I mean, I know Nintendo has to look at this. Nintendo has to consider this at some point in time. Like, they can't forever avoid VR. And it's the same thing with Xbox. Everybody has to experiment with this, even though we are absolutely 100%, we are deep in the trough of disillusionment. We are down there in the dirt and the mud. We are there. But Nintendo, Xbox, they've got to consider this because they have competitors that are already digging in. You know, they're locked in. You've got Sony. They've established a beachhead in the VR world with PlayStation VR. You've got Oculus, which is going to be releasing the Oculus Quest in less than a couple months away. We're going to get our hands on the Oculus Quest, and the Oculus Quest is a direct threat. It is a direct threat to all of these video game companies that primarily sell their products at Target, at Walmart, at Costco, at Best Buy, on Amazon.com, on all the different websites around the world, and all the other retailers all around the world. You go into the video game department, you see boxes of PlayStation 4, you see boxes of Nintendo Switch, you see boxes of Xbox Ones, you see a PlayStation VR box. Well, I believe if Oculus and Facebook has any sense whatsoever, they will be very focused on getting the Oculus Quest, the box, to be in the video game department of all of these stores. I think it is absolutely mission critical. I think they need to have some kind of demo unit, some kind of demo station. Maybe what Oculus could do is they could actually create a walk-up demo station where they have an Oculus Quest that is just, it's locked in, and you basically just stick your head, you have to like put your head up into it, and it's just locked in, and then maybe it has the controllers on the side and they're locked in as well, and maybe they got to figure out something. They got to have some kind of demo station that could possibly be at Walmart's, at Target's, at Best Buy, and those types of places, because I think actually hiring individual contractors that would come in and demo that stuff, it's incredibly expensive. It just doesn't work very well. That's a problem that VR has in general, is trying to convey this to people out there. Now, Oculus Quest, I do believe that they're going to have different trucks, like 18-wheeler trucks are going to be driving to like colleges and stuff. I think they're going to be doing demos at various malls, and they're going to be trying to get the message out. But we also need some type of way to present this to people at Walmart's, Targets, and those kinds of things. And I truly believe Oculus Quest is a direct threat. Now, Conrad Lawrence says Quest is no threat. Okay, well, no threat or a minor threat? I will say it's a minor threat, because I think there's going to be a point in time, especially with Oculus bombarding the airwaves with advertisements for the Oculus Quest. If Oculus is all in on this thing, they got to have a lot of commercials. It's got to be all over the internet. It's got to be everywhere. They got to let people know about the Oculus Quest. And so I think people are going to start seeing commercials for the Oculus Quest, and it's going to start leaking into the back corner of people's minds. And then they go into a Walmart and they see a Switch box there, and they see a Quest box there, and they start thinking, oh, that's that new Oculus Quest. It's completely wireless. It's got 2 controllers and everything. And all you got to do is buy this box, and it has everything. And I think it is a threat. It's a minor threat, but I still think it is a threat. But yeah, that is Nintendo. We're just going to have to see what's going on here. I find it hard to believe, I really do find it hard to believe that we are going to see any kind of a VR product from Nintendo in the year 2019. I don't even know about the year 2020, but usually where there is smoke, there is fire. So that is the Nintendo VR thing. Okay, so let me go ahead and bounce back over here to our standard scene. Now, one thing I did want to bring up is a developer reached out to me recently. Actually, today they emailed me. The developer is Dark Curry, and they are a small development team in Barcelona, Spain, and they're working on a VR game called Undead Citadel. Now, apparently this game, Undead Citadel, is based in medieval times, and it's an undead apocalyptic type of scenario, but not zombies. And the gameplay has been described as physics-driven combat, and a full-length trailer that is going to break this whole game wide open is going to be coming very, very soon. But you know what I did? I grabbed the teaser trailer. They do have a teaser trailer for this, so I'm going to go ahead and pump the volume on this Nintendo Labo, and we'll switch to an Undead Citadel VR trailer. It's just the teaser trailer, but it might give us a little bit of a peek at this. So let me go ahead and pump this up. And let's grab it.
Use the Toy-Con fishing rod to reel in a big catch.
Damn you, Connex. Where the hell am I? Come to me, you demon! Damn you, Connex.
Okay, so that is Undead Citadel. As you can tell here, this is a teaser trailer. So we're just getting very, very basic information. Now, the graphics look pretty freaking fantastic. These are not zombies. Remember, they are not zombies. They are the undead. It is not zombies, although zombies are undead. But this is based in medieval times. It's an apocalyptic type scenario, and physics-driven combat is what it's all about. And this does look pretty good. I don't know how I completely missed this. I believe this teaser trailer hit around mid-December, just the last mid-December, and I didn't hear about this, didn't see about this, but this is Undead Citadel. I believe we're going to be finding out a lot more about this in the very, very near term. But let's go ahead and bounce over to our webby browser. This is the website for Dark Curry Undead Citadel. They do have that little teaser there, and it says it will be ready when it's perfect, sometime in 2019 on the following platforms. So this is going to be hitting Steam, PlayStation VR, Vive, Oculus. It's basically coming to everybody. And chat with us through Discord. And they got a Steam page for this too? Okay, oh yeah, they do have a Steam page for this. Undead Citadel. Wreak havoc through the undead plague and feel like a real badass in this unique physics-based medieval combat title. Ruthlessly cut, stab, smash, shoot, or blow up your foes with a large variety of melee and ranged weapons as you explore the cursed citadel. Now I know Dark Curry is a small team. They're a very small team that is based in Barcelona, Spain. And we can see, here's a little GIF here of some of the action, and you can see we got bow mechanics that are happening. I like the skeletons. These skeletons, like I've seen various skeletons in VR, and these ones look pretty badass. Kind of remind me of those old, what are those old movies, like those Harryhausen, like those old Sinbad movies and stuff, where, remember when they had those animatronic skeletons? Those things used to freak me the hell out way back in the days. And somebody should actually, I think it'd be cool if somebody made a game that featured, like, made it look like corny animatronic skeletons, because they could probably recreate that now and it would look really good. But yeah, we'll have to see, will the bow mechanics work as well as some of the better bow games that we've seen, and exactly how good is this physics-based melee combat going to work. But graphically it does look pretty interesting. Innovative hybrid physics-based combat engine. Smash or cut your enemies down with over 40 plus different close combat weapons with real-life movements. Swords, axes, warhammers, maces, shields, longswords, or even your own fists. So you can get into some fisticuffs if you want to get down to it. And here's another little gift of it. But yeah, graphically it looks pretty decent. Take the undead down with ranged weaponry like javelins, bows and arrows, or blow them up with powerful explosions. Engage against dozens of different close combat, ranged, or heavily armored enemy types. You can use slow motion, strength, invulnerability, freeze magic potions to mutate your power. Full-size campaign with 10 plus levels, horde mode, and all this good stuff. So the good news is we are going to get a major trailer for this in the very near future, very soon. I don't know. I kind of know when, but I don't know if I'm allowed to reveal it, so I'm not going to say anything. But yeah, looking at these screenshots, it does look pretty badass. I mean, I doubt it's going to look exactly quite as good as these screenshots, but it does look pretty good. And we're seeing it right here. So, you know, just another game that we need to keep our eye on. There's a lot of little games out there. There are definitely a lot of little games. We might be missing out on some of the biggest AAA, most high production value games out there. But man, do we have a lot of little games that are being worked on. So that is nice. All right, that is Undead Citadel. Okay, what is our next story? Well, why don't we go ahead and check out Palmer Luckey's blog, the blog of Palmer Luckey. And you know what? I'm slightly disappointed that Palmer Luckey changed up the picture on his blog. I liked it where it had just the bottom of his like nose and mouth. I thought that was like kind of a cool little photo that they had there. Now it's switched up a little bit. I'm guessing, is this supposed to be Palmer Luckey's head right there with his hair? Possibly, don't know. But anyway, why is Palmer Luckey in the news? Well, it's all over the Oculus subreddit, excuse me. This was posted today, February 18th by Palmer Luckey. Fix your Oculus Rift audio failure for $1 billion. No, for 0.00 with the RR1 repair kit. The RR1 repair kit took less than 3 hours to design. Testing it on all the broken Rifts sent to me by the community took a bit longer. Yeah, throwing a little bit of shade at Oculus over there. But basically, kind of what Palmer Luckey is talking about here is that, well, he says it right in the very beginning. The Oculus Rift CV1 is not perfect. Some issues are the result of carefully considered design trade-offs, but others are design flaws that didn't become apparent until well after launch. And this kind of happens with just about every product under the sun. Is so much testing, so much research and development is done on these products. But the thing is, when you get something out there into the great wide open where thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of people start using it, you start finding out where the real flaws are with your designs. And we saw that early on with the HTC Vive. How many people had an HTC Vive and they had a problem with the first 3-in-1 cable? It's one of the reasons that HTC came out with the new 3-in-1 cable, because it was a flawed design. It would eventually hit people. It's kind of like Xbox with the red rings of death, one of those kinds of things. And then, of course, HTC Vive, the thumb pad tends to have problems over time. This is just stuff that we have to deal with. And it's probably going to be that way for everything that we get our hands on, whether it's an Oculus Go, an Oculus Quest, a Vive Cosmos. There's always going to be these little things that rear their ugly heads. And for the Oculus Rift, for the CV1, a common problem is the failure of a specific ribbon cable that winds through the strap. And basically what it does is it causes a problem for the right headphone audio. And sometimes it develops into a full audio cutout for both ears, though this is less common. And so the RR1 repair kit can address both of these types of failures. And so Palmer he's not selling this for anything. He's giving it away for free, but he wants to give it away for free to people that actually have an Oculus repair ticket. And so basically what you want to do is, so if he wants you to go through Oculus and try to handle this with Oculus. But if you are outside of the warranty period and it's just not going to work, like if Oculus is not going to do anything about this, you're outside of the warranty period, he's saying, here's what you can do. Go ahead and please forward your repair ticket and a mailing address to riftrepair1@gmail.com, and he will send you an RR1 repair kit free of charge. So that is pretty awesome. So you can get back in the metaverse as quickly as possible. Yeah, we don't really have a metaverse at this point in time, but anyway, this kit can also function as a third-party headphone adapter on fully functional Rifts, but I don't have any plans to distribute the kit for that purpose. I am doing this because I feel bad for people who bought a Rift from me and can't use it properly anymore. So yeah, that is Palmer Luckey, and it's also, of course, lots of people are talking about this on the Oculus Rift subreddit, which we can bounce over there right now. Let me give a quick refresh to this. And yeah, it's the #1. Look at how many upvotes this has. Over 1,000 upvotes. The Oculus Rift CV1 has a design flaw. I'm sure that Facebook and Oculus is really happy that this is out there saying, yeah, it's just a known thing. It is a known commodity. The Rift CV1 has a design flaw, period, end of story. Maybe, guys, maybe this is why the Rift S at PAX East in Boston, Massachusetts, right, on March 28th, Nate Mitchell is going to get up on stage and he's going to hold up the Rift S. Here is the Rift S, ladies and gentlemen. It is available now. $299.99. You can get your Rift S right now. We have solved the design flaw. Now, is there some downsides with the Rift S? Yes, there is. It's a singular screen. It's LCD. There's no actual legitimate IPD adjustment. But we did some nice things. We fixed our audio flaw. And we've also added inside-out tracking, so you can go ahead and sell your Initech USB cards on eBay. That could happen. It could happen, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows? All right, but yeah, that is Palmer Luckey. Let's see what some of the comments are over here. So this guy says, just wondering, how long is this available for? My Rift is working great, but will this be available a year from now if it does not? And yeah, other people are wondering about that. And this guy says he mentions in the blog that he sends to those who opened a ticket with Oculus, but where Oculus, for whatever reason, doesn't do an RMA, outside of warranty, people in countries that are not supported, etc., etc. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I mean, it is really cool that it's really cool that Palmer is doing this, and you know, he's got the money to do it, but still, it's going to cost him. I mean, sending out all these kits, mailing them and all of that, it's going to cost him time and it's going to cost him money, and that is really cool that he did that. Okay, what else is in the news? Well, you know what? We can stay right here on the Oculus Rift subreddit and we can check this out right here. I noticed this. In fact, I commented on this post by Labrodex Studios. There is a price change, guys, for Scraper. Scraper First Strike has a new price. If I click on here, we can see it. The new price is $19.99, and I believe like it doesn't have a slash here, like this is on sale, and I don't see anywhere where it says like this is like for a limited time. So this might be the new price for Scraper First Strike on the Oculus Store, because I went to Steam and it is still $29.99. So you still got to pay $10 extra on Steam, which is kind of weird. Now it might be a situation where they just haven't gotten around to changing the Steam page and the Steam price, and you know there could be like a thing that you have to go through. It might take some time to be able to do all of that. But I did ask him. I popped in here and I says, is this a limited time price drop or the new price for the game? Also, will the Steam price be changing too? And a bonus question, any update on the PSVR version of Scraper? Because you know what, we heard Scraper was coming to PlayStation, to PSVR, I believe late February. Like they were targeting late February or early March because they had to redo some stuff that was in Scraper, the PSVR version. They had to resubmit it for certification and all of that. And that process is a lengthy process. And a lot of that process is out of the hands of Labradex Studios, and they basically have to wait for Sony to do what they got to do. So Scraper First Strike coming to PSVR. Maybe very late this month, maybe early March would be my guess, but I don't know for sure. But we'll see if Labradex responds to my little question there. And I am still wondering about the Steam price, because it's kind of weird that we got these two different prices. But yeah, Scraper First Strike is available for $20, and I think Scraper First Strike, like if you think about the games that have come out in the last 4 months or so, I think Scraper is one of the better games of the last 4 months or so. If it's a seated game, it's seated and it's cockpit based game, but not a regular controller. You will actually use your motion controls, but it is a seated based game. But I like Scraper, especially if you're into robot type of movies like iRobot, Terminator, RoboCop. If you like all those kinds of sci-fi robot-based movies, I think you'd really like Scraper, especially the music, the sound effects. Pretty good production value. Wouldn't quite put it into the AAA category, but damn close, damn close. Okay, now speaking of deals on the Oculus Store, let's go ahead and see what our daily deal of the day is, and it would be Clash of Chefs VR. Now, do you guys remember this one? Because you know what? We saw a trailer for this, and the trailer looked really good. This was an example of a company. I don't remember who the developer is. Let me scroll down and see who is the developer of this. Flat Hill Games. Okay, so Flat Hill Games is the developer, and this came out back on December 13th, 2018, but they had a really cool trailer for this. And if you have a really cool trailer, I think it helps your game in a major way. This is Clash of Chefs VR. Now, it is going for $10. It is a 50% discount off of its normal price of $20. The ratings are suspect, okay, because we have 3 ratings. We have about 3.5 stars, roughly, on the 3 ratings. I'm not sure how this is faring on Steam in terms of those ratings, but there's a little bit over 12 hours left in this deal. And it says Clash of Chefs VR is all about who's the fastest cook. Prepared order food and drinks to satisfy your customers, compete against other players online, and win the bragging rights as the best chef in the world. The single-player mode offers over 20 exciting levels in each kitchen. Increasingly complex recipes will surely require fast reflexes. Once you see how fun it is to see buns and plates flying around, you'll be compelled to toss things at your waiter or even at the opposing chef. So that is Clash of Chefs VR. And I should probably, let's take a look at the Steam page for Clash of Chefs just to see Clash of Chefs. Okay, so yeah, over here on Steam, it's going for $20. Now this launched back on November 16th when it actually hit Steam 8 user reviews, and yeah, they had a beautiful, colorful trailer. Like this trailer, much love. Whoever did their trailer, like if you're a small VR company, I don't know if they did it themselves or what, but whoever did their trailer did a damn good job. Really good trailer, in fact. Yeah, we can go ahead and switch over here to our standard scene. I can show you guys a couple seconds of that trailer because it's actually pretty freaking cool. They did a sweet job. Let's see, Clash of Chefs. Do I have this trailer? I should. Yeah, I do. Yeah, this is one of the more colorful, bright, and cheerful trailers I've seen. But yeah, take a look at this trailer. I mean, look at how nice and bright and colorful and cheerful. Very good job here. So many people loved Job Simulator, and they loved the cooking part of Job Simulator. In fact, that was probably my favorite part of Job Simulator. We've seen a number of these chef-style games. Of course, there's Counterfight, Counterfight 2, Counterfight 3, and, you know, but very colorful, pretty sweet trailer. This is how you do it, guys. If you are a small indie studio, you want to try to kick out some cash and do a fun, colorful, bright, cheerful trailer like this. Of course, I'm a sucker for color. Like, I just love color. And then also the logo. Quality logo. Quality logos matter, in my opinion. They really do. That is Flat Hill Games. That is Clash of Chefs. All right. So yeah, at this point, guys, guess what? I'm out of stories. This is where I got to in my show prep today. I got up to this point and then I ran out of stuff. So I do not have any more stories. So why don't we go to chat and see what people are talking about in chat? I do need to include chat a lot more. I've been doing kind of a crappy job of that. But let's see what some folks are talking about. Hussein X says, yeah, Scraper was a good game. I finished it on medium. Nice graphics and music. Recycled says, it's a steal at 300. Time to be impulsive. I'm not sure what he's talking about. I think it might be the Odyssey Plus, because Jim Hall is saying he wants to try out an Odyssey Plus somewhere before buying it. And yeah, so there's some Odyssey Plus talk. Oh, okay, DLG27 says Samsung Odyssey Plus is now on sale at Samsung for $300. So the Odyssey Plus is on sale. Scion VR says he wishes Palmer was back in charge at Oculus. Rendered Reality says he should start up another VR company. And Phil Yarn says, Palmer, our Lord and Savior, got a bad rep. We must remember separation of church and state. Palmer, the realest MVP. Yeah, Palmer is the realest. Where's a Palmer Luckey little thing when I need one? Let me see here. I know I have like a weird little Palmer Luckey goofy thing to click on. Hold on one sec here. I can't find it, damn it. I know I did have a Palmer Luckey thing. Never mind. Can't find it. Actually, you know what? I think it's in my Magic Leap stuff. Because I had Palmer Luckey wearing a Magic Leap headset. Still can't find it. Oh, well. Anyways, moving on. Looking at chat here. Let's see. What else are people saying? Rendered Reality says bows work so well in VR. I think he's talking about Undead Citadel, which does look pretty good. Yeah, Greg's VR says Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. The stop motion skeletons. Yeah, Jason and the Argonauts. Yeah, you know, I think it actually was Jason and the Argonauts is the one that I'm actually thinking of. If we go over to our Webby browser, let's take a look, because I love these little stop motion skeletons. Google Jason and the Argonauts. Yeah, Jason and the Argonauts. Where's our remake of this? Yeah, and this guy, do you guys remember that thing? That thing was badass. This is one of my favorite movies, like when I was a little kid. Like, this movie probably scared the living daylights out of me. It really was a pretty, and then you had like the Medusa thing, and you had these guys. These guys are badass. They really are. These skeletons right here. Like, and then you had this creature, and there was like battles between creatures and shit. Or wait, is that a different movie? That might be a different movie. You had like gods coming up out of the water and everything. This movie was hella cool. Jason and the Argonauts. So those that are sleeping on these kinds of movies. What year was this? 1963, damn. So that was like way before I was born, but I remember seeing it. I guess I saw it on TV or something. But yeah, those stop motion skeletons, I would imagine if somebody made a game right now, they could recreate the effect of those stop motion skeletons and make them look badass. And they also need to recreate this guy too. So basically what they need to do is they need to get the rights to Jason and the Argonauts. And I don't know, who was the studio that released this? Let's go ahead and visit this on Rotten Tomatoes. Jason and the Argonauts, does it say who the studio was? Columbia Pictures. Yeah, so somebody needs to contact Columbia Pictures right now. And they need to figure out how do they get the rights to make a VR game for Jason and the Argonauts so we can have some badass skeletons. Look at that, 93% on the tomato meter. 79% on the audience score. But yeah, 1963, this was like a Harryhausen thing, right? I don't know, it was directed by Don Chaffee, but I think, wasn't it like that Harryhausen guy? Whatever that guy was that did all the stop motion stuff. But yeah, that is Jason and the Argonauts, one of the best of all time, especially some of those characters. Really cool. Okay, so let's see, where were we? I was looking at chat over here. Black Undead Plague. Oh, Dr. Freeman says there is a better trailer for this game. Is he talking about Citadel? He's talking about Undead Citadel. Because, see, I understand that they have a new trailer that's going to be coming very soon. But I don't think the trailer's out there yet, as far as I know. Crunchy says the owl from that movie is my favorite. Okay, let me add owl to it. Oh yeah, talk to Stonepunk Studios. Yeah, I think Stonepunk Studios, he wants to remake, he wants to do a video game version. See, Stonepunk Studios, Jay from Stonepunk Studios, who we're going to have him on our first developer spotlight. Oh yeah, that was a creepy kind of an owl. This owl was pretty creepy, creeptacular. Most owls are kind of creepy when you really get down to it. But yeah, pretty creepy. Yeah, Jason the Argonauts, that was a trippy movie. I need to check that out on like Amazon Prime or Netflix or something like that. Oh, wait, this owl was Clash of the Titans. Okay, wait, owl from Jason and the Argonauts. And then Bubo from Clash. So, I don't know what's going on here. Maybe that's not Jason and the Argonauts. So, we're crossing our streams, guys. We are crossing our streams. Oh, here's the Ray Harryhausen exhibit to close. Oh, that sucks. It's probably millions of years ago that this happened. But yeah, this guy, Ray Harryhausen, he did all of these like stop motion movies. Like he did all the special effects. He was like one of the original special effects guys. But yeah, so anyway, I'm getting distracted here by chat. Let's see, was there any other little news we can get into? Well, we can always check the subreddits, or we can go to like Upload VR and see what the latest stories are. So why don't we do that? Let's head back over here to Upload VR, and let's see what the latest stories. And here it is, Samsung Odyssey Plus, $299 this week, 40% off. And this is why Jim Hall is strongly considering this. Now, here's the downside, guys. The downside is quite honestly, you're not going to know whether this headset works for you until you buy it and you try to put it on your head. And then when you buy it and you put it on your head, you're going to find out whether it fits your head in the right way or not. And then if it doesn't fit your head in the right way, you might be able to do some slight modifications to try to dial it in so that it's still up there in your face and it's setting on your head right. But it's a major problem because there's people that have grabbed the Odyssey Plus and the regular Odyssey, and they found out that one of them fitted right, but the other one didn't. And some people, neither of them fit right. The Samsung is just, I don't know what it is about Samsung not fitting your head right. But it does seem to be an issue. And then the other major issue is some people feel like this anti-screen door thing is actually worse than just getting the regular Odyssey because it just softens it just a little bit too much. That was pretty much the take of Steve Bishop. I personally have not tried these. Now, the original Samsung Odyssey, wasn't it on sale for like $249 for like an hour or so until it sold out? And now that was a pretty damn good deal, because that's even $50 less. And some people really say that the original Odyssey is the better way to go. I haven't tried either one, so not sure. But yeah, it would be nice to be able to try these things on without having to go through a return. Like, who wants to buy a headset, try it all out, and then have to return it? That would really suck. Trying to see if which games should be Oculus Quest bundle. Yeah, this is an interesting question. We are getting closer and closer to the arrival of Oculus Quest. There's Odell Beckham Jr. playing some Oculus Quest in someone's living room. And one of the questions that they're asking here on their community download, their little weekly discussion article here at Upload VR, is what's going to be bundled in. Something's going to be bundled in. I kind of think it's going to be that Wii Tennis game. It looks kind of like Wii Tennis, you know. I think that may be bundled in, and maybe Dead and Buried. Maybe the Oculus version of, the Quest version of Dead and Buried. That could also possibly be bundled in with that. The Secret Locations, The Great Sea, is coming to airports around the world. That is a weird story. Let's go ahead and click on this. I enjoyed The Great Sea. Pretty cool. It's a short story based on a Philip K. Dick short story that was done by the developers of Blasters of the Universe and also Transpose. They did this called The Great Sea. I think you could get it for about like $5.99 or something like that. Let's see. Secret Location this week announced partnerships with In-Flight VR and Skylights. Both agreements will see The Great Sea brought to both companies' pre-flight VR offerings. You know, it's honestly a great idea. Airlines should probably hook up with Oculus and offer Oculus Go's for a small rental fee for people that are in any airline flight that is over like 3 hours or whatever. Because when I went to Hawaii, I went to Kauai. It was last August, I believe, August 2018. I went to Kauai. I was there for a week. We didn't have a show for an entire week. And when I flew to Hawaii, I used my Oculus Go. Like, I put it on. I was playing games. I was playing Ultra Wings. I was playing a number of different games and trying some different things out in my Oculus Go headset right there on the airplane. And see, the beautiful thing about it, and really, it would be even better, though, if you could use it during takeoff and during landing. See, the thing is, they'll say, turn off all your electronic devices during takeoff and during landing. But for somebody that kind of has anxiety about flying, and I do. I have legitimate anxiety about flying. I'm not quite as bad as John Madden that refuses to get in an airplane and he drives his bus everywhere. I'm not that bad, but when an airplane leaves the ground, like when an airplane actually leaves planet Earth and we're floating in the air, I start thinking, oh, I don't really like the fact that I'm just floating in air. I kind of want to be on solid Earth. And so the takeoff always is a little bit sketch for me. And then also the landing is a little bit sketch for me. And VR, the wonderful thing about VR is you can kind of feel like you're in another place when you're in VR. Like I was in my headset and I had headphones on and everything, and I was doing some stuff, and I got immersed a little bit into Ultra Wings and some of the stuff that I was playing on my Oculus Go, and I started to forget that I was in an airplane for a brief second. Not so much, but as VR improves over the years, that's going to get better and better. Let me see what people are talking about in chat. Yeah, Recycled says, but people be sneezing all over the inside of it. That's kind of nasty. Do people? Well, see, the thing is, your nose is out here, so you shouldn't be sneezing inside of it. Now, what they should do though is have some kind of little disposable diaper, you know, that goes on the outside of it, and I'm sure they would probably provide that. Steve Lee says, I have all the headsets and I think they are all good. Not sure what he's talking about there. Rendered Reality says they used to do demos of the original Odyssey at Microsoft stores. Doubt they still do that now though with the Plus. Yeah, Microsoft Stores seems to be the place to go to demo a lot of different things, like HoloLens, some of these Odyssey headsets, stuff like that. And let's see, loved Mysterious Island with the dinosaurs and maze through plateau. Shiny Robot says, I've got an Odyssey Plus and you need to change a couple of settings to make it very nice with no visible SDE. And the default oversampling for the Odyssey Plus is wrong bad. This is Mark P. Change the setting and suddenly it looks good. Shiny Robot says, when I first plugged Odyssey Plus in, I thought it wasn't great, but trust me, I use it for Assetto Corsa with 300% super sampling, and it is so much better than Vive night and day. Yeah, you know, I wonder, did Steve Bishop, did he give up on that Odyssey Plus a little bit too earlier? I mean, you have people on different sides of that argument with the Odyssey Plus and the regular Odysseys. And Paul Smith says, how can you forget you're in an airplane playing Ultra Wings? Well, you think you're in an airplane, but not that airplane. And that's the good aspect of it. Okay, let's bounce over to Road to VR real quick and see if anything new is popping on over here. I got to apologize because I have a lot of background noise that is going on outside of my house right now. They're picking up like the garbage stuff outside, and so I got like delivery trucks. Not delivery trucks, but you know, garbage trucks, that type of thing. Okay, Neos VR update brings massive improvements to user friendliness, social features, and more. Wait, Neos VR. I'm trying to think, what was Neos VR? Oh, this is a social platform. Okay, no, that's different. I was thinking of this game that was like Neo VR or something like that. Yeah, here's this guy over here. I don't know what is going on with this, guys. I really don't know with this. Maybe I've done a lot of like Skyrim searches or something in Google, and that's why this is showing up. But we see that quite a bit. So yeah, nothing really popping off in terms of like major news stories here. Oculus founder is giving away free audio kits. Yeah, we know about that. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and check out the Vive subreddit real quick. I'll give this a quick refresh and we'll see if anything is popping off. Okay, so this is disappointing to me right here. VR game Apex Construct sales spike after players mistake it for Apex Legends. Welcome to like 5 days ago. Like this was in the news like 5 days ago. How is this the #1 upvoted thing? There's a lot of people that don't watch our show. Now I'm going to cry again because I reported about this on our show. If everybody watched our show, we wouldn't have a problem, right? They would know that we've already known about this story. This was a funny story 5 days ago. It's not funny now. But PC Gamer does a story about it, and everybody thinks it's a brand new story. Okay, there's that one. Here's main fans Apollo Creed versus Ivan Drago Rocky IV rematch in Creed. Rise to Glory with commentary. Can we talk? Commentary. Yeah, so here's main fan's video. Upvote the living crap out of that. Main fan is a star, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you guys something. Let's go to his YouTube, his YouTube channel. Dude, main fan's about to pass VR365. He is about to pass up VR365. He's got 770 subscribers, but that's not the least of it. Here's this. Where is it? Where is videos? Okay, where is... So check this out, guys. Main fan, look at this. He has a video that has 250,000 views. Main fan is balling like a mofo. Main fan just bought himself a brand new Ferrari 458 Spider because he is making crazy YouTube money with 250,000 views. Main fan is an absolute star. Look at this, 313 comments. His subscribers, he's passing me in subscribers. Who knew that a star is born? That main fan is a star in the making, and he is absolutely killing it. Main fan also did a new video on the Gorn update, so you might want to check that out. And he has some videos where he plays some of his arcade machines. Dude, main fan has a really cool little arcade area in his house. Like, I need to go visit main fan at some point and try out some of this stuff. So he's got these arcade. Oh, he's got a Neo Geo, the multiplay one. Oh, those are sweet. Or is this just on his MAME cabinet and he changes out like the labels and everything to make it look so cool like that? MAME fan is chilling. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. But that was on R-Vive, MAME fan. And just trying to see if there's any other little news that's going on the R-Vive subreddit. And yeah, Nintendo going VR this year. Sure they are. Sure they are. Yeah, that was our story as well. Kind of doubt it, but who knows. And we can check out the Oculus. Actually, we've been to the Oculus subreddit, but let me just see if there were any other minor stories that popped in. Oh, you know what? Did everybody check out the VR Roundtable episode yesterday? Because you should have. If you have not checked out the VR Roundtable episode yesterday, make absolutely sure to check that out, because we did have Blake J. Harris on that show. And I'm actually going to send an email to Blake J. Harris, and I'm going to see if I can get him on our show as just me and him, you know, just chopping it up. Because honestly, I could talk to Blake J. Harris a whole bunch about all the Oculus stuff, but I could also talk to him about some old school stuff, you know, about TurboGrafx, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, about the weird transition from 16-bit gaming to 32/64-bit gaming, like Panasonic 3DO, Atari Jaguar. Oh, check this out, Jay Pace. Where's my boy Jay Pace when you need him? Because you know what? I was doing timestamps yesterday on our episode with Jay Pace, and he mentioned the 3DO. He mentioned the Panasonic 3DO, and I didn't hear that part because I could do an entire episode with Jay Pace just talking about the Panasonic 3DO, because I was really into the Panasonic 3DO. Sion says he liked the interview, but it was too long. Yeah, Conrad Lawrence says, I told you, Anthony. See, Conrad Lawrence was hitting me up and telling me that I got to do an interview with this guy, Blake J. Harris. And I kept telling Conrad, I'm like, but I don't have like this deep, intimate knowledge of like Oculus's early days. So I just felt like I couldn't really do that interview a lot of justice. And so I kind of like was scared of doing it. But I shouldn't have been scared. It would have been perfectly fine. But anyway, his book does come out tomorrow. Now, where is that little thread that I was... Oh, here it is. The History of the Future. That is a cool title as well. The History of the Future by Blake J. Harris, author of Console Wars, Oculus, Facebook, and the Revolution That Swept Virtual Reality. Now, unfortunately for Blake J. Harris, he probably needed to get this book out like 2 years ago when we weren't in the trough of disillusionment. But unfortunately, you know, he got it out now. The hype behind VR has died down a little bit, but I've read a few chapters. He provided a few sample chapters for this book for Gary, Steve, Chris, and I to check out before we did that interview. And it was damn good. I wanted to keep reading it. Like, I didn't want to stop. It was done very well. And Ernest Cline has like the foreword in the book as well. And it was really quite fascinating. Very well done. Much love to our boy Blake J. Harris. I think he did an outstanding job with that. You can get it in hardcover form for $19.71. You can get the Kindle version for 15 bones. And you can get the paperback version for 19 bucks. But that is The History of the Future, Oculus, Facebook, and the Revolution That Swept Virtual Reality. That is coming out tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to try to reach out to him and see. He's super busy this week with probably tons and tons of interviews, but maybe like a week later we can bring him on and talk to him about all of that. And I also want to talk to him about the old school stuff. I really want to talk to him about the old school stuff. But yeah, dude, 3DO, the Panasonic 3DO, don't even get me started, man, on the Panasonic 3DO. I could do a whole entire show. See, the Panasonic 3DO is the most underrated video game system of all time, probably. And it was the wrong system at the wrong time at the wrong price. But was it freaking glorious for those of us that were able to check this thing out? Because the thing about the Panasonic 3DO, guys, is this launched in October of 1993. October of 1993. People were playing regular Super Nintendo games, regular Sega Genesis games. This was 1993, guys. And the Panasonic 3DO had a game called Crash and Burn. Crash and Burn. And it was a pack-in game. This was a pack-in game for the Panasonic 3DO. And I know this might look like crap to you right now. Like, you're looking at these pictures and you're probably thinking, oh my God, this looks awful. It's blurry. It's craptacular. But dude, this was like the first ever texture mapped graphics. Like, this was the beginning of texture mapped graphics. And I played this game. So here's the deal. I didn't have the money for the 3DO when it first came out. It was like $800. It was like $799.99, I think, or maybe $699.99, something like that. It was $700 or $800, and we're talking about 1993 prices. 1993 prices. So imagine if you inflation, if you converted it for modern day prices. I mean, it'd be like buying a console right now for like $4,000 damn near. And Crash and Burn came in the box, and I was lucky as hell because I had a very good buddy that bought this on day one. He picked up the Panasonic 3DO on day one. And let me tell you, that October, that November, that December, and that January, I was at his house on a regular basis. And we would play Crash and Burn. We would play the Total Eclipse demo. And we would play, some little crappy games, some other crappy games that it had. And it was the most next gen. Like, I've never seen a bigger jump from one generation to another because I was playing Super Nintendo. I was playing Sega Genesis. I was playing Sega CD. I was playing all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, bam, I'm playing a game like Crash and Burn at my buddy's house. He had a 31-inch Mitsubishi. It was a really good Mitsubishi. It had S-Video on the back of it. And so we had it connected with an S-Video cable. So it was really dialed in, really crystal clear. And it was better than anything at the arcade from a pure graphical standpoint. If you play Crash and Burn now, you'll be like, oh my God, this game is absolute garbage. But let me tell you, October of 1993, there was nothing that could touch this with a 10-foot pole in terms of like the leap, the gigantic leap ahead that this was in terms of graphical splendor. And I actually ended up getting a 3DO myself. There's a store, and I'll do a Google search of it. They no longer exist, but there was a store called The Good Guys. This store right here. There was a store called The Good Guys, and they were like in California and Oregon and Washington. They were kind of like a West Coast thing. And they had an open box 3DO that was marked down. And then the 3DO had a price drop, like it dropped from $700 to whatever it was. It like dropped a couple $100. And then I bought an open box 3DO and I got my own 3DO and I was living a dream. It was at this place called The Good Guys. And I was playing stuff like Escape from Monster Manor. Escape from Monster Manor on the 3DO. Oh man, these games, yeah, Escape from Monster Manor, this was really cool. Of course, Road Rash. Everybody remembers Road Rash on the 3DO, and I played the shit out of that. This was kind of like Doom, but it just seemed so next level, but they didn't even have textures for the grounds or the ceiling. It was like Wolfenstein 3D. It was like they didn't have textures for the ground or the ceiling, but this was Monster Manor. I thought it was freaking awesome. Loved Monster Manor. I loved Road Rash. I loved Shockwave. 3DO so effing underrated. Like when this Road Rash first came out, it was pixelated, but you were like, oh my God, look at this city. Like they've created an actual city, brah. Yeah, the price dropped to $400. Okay, so check this out, Kev Gret. The price dropped to $400 in 1994, and I bought an open box 3DO from Good Guys after the price had dropped. No, actually, I bought it before the price dropped. Then the price dropped, and I went and I got it adjusted. Like, I got my deal adjusted. So I got the 3DO for hella cheap. It was an incredible deal. The 3DO was advanced compared to the Super Nintendo and Genesis Mega Drive. That's great, Tantrum. Yeah, there's never been a greater jump, in my opinion, to go from Super Nintendo and Genesis to 3DO. It was a gigantic leap. We never see leaps like this anymore. It's kind of sad. It's actually very sad, to be honest. Like, you compare, like, PlayStation 4 compared to PlayStation 3. It's not a giant jump at all. This game, Shockwave, this game was awesome. There was an alien invasion that was going on across the entire world, and it had some really cool production values. They had a FIFA Soccer that was on 3DO that was really good. There was a John Madden. Actually, the John Madden on 3DO actually sucked. It actually sucked, but it looked good. It looked good. I tried to convince myself, like I was playing this all the time on the 3DO, and I tried to really convince myself that this was an awesome game. It wasn't. It sucked. But the graphics were awesome. And I had paid all this money for a 3DO, so I basically convinced myself. Do you guys know what was Skyrim way before there was ever a Skyrim? I'm going to show you guys. Here is the first Skyrim. It's called Slayer AD&D, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons for 3DO. This game right here, I spent so much time in this game on the 3DO. It was basically Skyrim, bro. It was basically Skyrim in 1994. I was playing Skyrim in 1994 on the 3DO. It was pretty much Doom with, like, you know, Dungeons and Dragons type graphics and stuff in like a Doom type world. But, oh man, I loved my 3DO. 3DO is so freaking underrated. It's, oh, you know what game was hella cool on the 3DO? What is that game called? Damn it, I can't think of it now. It's, can't think of it. Can't think of the name. Completely slipped my mind. But it was really cool. It was really cool. Wolfenstein 3D on the 3DO is really cool. Yeah, dude, you would go through this game and they'd have these torches on the walls flickering and all of that. Oh, that was so sweet. Here's like a group of old 3DO games. Myst, they had Pebble Beach Golf. Blade Force was pretty good. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Slayer was absolutely awesome. Actually, you know what I could do is just do 3DO games, and then it'll show like a whole bunch of different 3DO games. Yeah, this is bonus 3DO coverage. Of course, we're going to be talking about the Panasonic 3DO on a VR gaming show. Oh, do you guys know Naughty Dog? Naughty Dog. Their first game was Way of the Frickin' Warrior. Way of the Warrior with all that Rob Zombie soundtrack. That was Naughty Dog's very first game. It was not that good, to be completely honest with you. Gex on the 3DO was awesome, of course. Oh, here's the thing that breaks down all the little games on the 3DO. I'm trying to see the game that like slipped my mind that I thought was so good. Need for Speed was pretty good on there. Out of This World, that's what I was missing. Okay, Out of This World for the 3DO. Oh man, that was drop dead gorgeous. Out of This World 3DO. Out of This World for this one. Yeah, this one on the 3DO. Like, I know this is on the Genesis and Super Nintendo and all of that, but you hadn't played this game until it was on the 3DO. Look at, this is how it would look on like the Genesis, and this is how it looked on the 3DO. They had all these cool backgrounds behind it, and the music was freaking awesome. Out of This World on 3DO was super cool. Yeah, Return Fire was great. So let's go ahead and check out chat here. And Jim Hall says, what? Way of the Warrior was the best. Way of the Warrior was corny as F. It was fun, but it was corny. Way of the Warrior is not a very good game. And well, honestly, it's the 3DO controller was just a shitty controller. It just wasn't a very good controller for, yeah, we're going to cover the Jaguar tomorrow. Yeah, this was just rando how we got into this. I just mention it because Jay Pace. Wait till Jay Pace sees all of this. This was for Jay Pace. This is 100% for Jay Pace. All this little bonus 3DO talk. Okay, yeah, let's get back to 3D. Let's get back to VR land. And you know what? We're going to get back to VR land, and I'm going to say bye. Bye to everybody. Bye-bye, everybody. bye-bye. We are going back to VR land. So that's going to go ahead and do it, guys, for today's episode of VR 365. It is a show about VR 365 days a year. It really is. I wonder when the last time I missed a show. It's been a long time. I remember I had a few computer problems. I missed like a show here or a show there. But like if you take the day that I came back from Hawaii and you go all the way to now, I don't know how many total days that's been. That was in August, right? So all of September, all of October, all of November, all of December, January, February. It's been like 7 months damn near. I missed maybe 2 days. I've missed 2 days in 7 months. That's pretty amazing. I'm going to go ahead and pat myself on the back for that. I've done such a great job. I'm such a great person. It's really good. Everything's great. But that's going to do it, guys. This has been VR 365. I will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Remember, tomorrow, the release of Dick Wild 2 and Chromagun VR. And I'm going to be talking quite a bit about Chromagun VR. I need to do a Let's Play of Chromagun VR while I'm at it. But I will see everybody tomorrow. Have a good one. See ya. Have a great time. We will see you on Tuesday. Later.